لو كانت هذه الدنيا تساوي جناح بعوضة عند الله لما سقى منها الكافر. ما سقى منها الكافر.
Understand, please, that not everybody will believe, and not everybody will accept. But it's not our problem. Our problem is to do a good job of conveying the message with hikmah, with wisdom, attractively, and let them decide. That's all. This is not here for you to decide. You do your best and let them decide for themselves. That's it. Sayyidina Nuh alayhi salam, how many years made da'wah? 950 years. How many believed? Less than 100 people. Some people say 86 people. His wife and his son did not believe in him. Yani subhanallah. Ish sabr hada. Yani just imagine. Maybe each year one person believing. Just imagine, and it's so difficult. Yani. Every 10 years, not each year, every 10 years one person believing. How you can manage like this? He did his best. قال رب إني دعوت قومي ليلا ونهارا. فلم يزدهم دعائي إلا فرارا. وإنما كلما دعوتهم لتغفر لهم جعلوا صوتي أذانهم واستغشوا ثيابهم وأسروا واستكبروا إسراف. So واستكبروا استكبارا. نعم.
سيدنا نوح لما دعا 950 سنة لكنه في الأخير دعا عليهم. فبالدعاء عليهم قرم الشفاعة في قومه يوم القيامة. حتى الناس يوم القيامة يأتون إلى سيدنا آدم وسيدنا نوح وسيدنا إبراهيم، كل واحد يقول اذهبوا إلى فلان اذهبوا إلى فلان. يعني ذكر السلام سيدنا نوح قال إني دعوت على قومي.
وطبعا هذا قضية ثانية، قضية الشفاعة الكبرى هذا معروف، هذا مقام المحمود عند الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم. طبعا كل واحد اعتذر لأن عرف الموقف صعب. أن هو نوح عليه السلام يعني اعتذر بهذا العذر. إبراهيم عليه السلام ما دعا على قومه ولكن اعتذر بشيء ثاني. فهو طبعا كان ما كذب، هو كان كذب في الله، يعني أساس يبين له الحقيقة. وكل واحد حتى عيسى ما قال عندي عذر، سكت لأن ما سوى أي شيء، ولكن هي مقصود إن هذا العذر خاص بالرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم.
يعني لابد في الدعوة من الصبر.
نعم.
من الصبر حتى النهاية بدون أن.
نعم صحيح. المهم القضية واضحة الحين. We proceed. So if you can support your proof is important. So always show the common grounds before you discuss the differences. Okay? But try to always prompt them to think. How can you prompt them to think? What do you think? Suppose I told them about Sayyidina Ibrahim. Okay? I talk about we believe in Ibrahim as the friend of God, is the patriarch for Muslims, for Christians and Jews, is one of the best prophets, and he is the father of the prophets, and prophets from them. Then I asked them, what was the religion of Ibrahim? And that made them think. Now, he was Jewish. So he came before Musa, he was not Jewish. There was no Judaism that time. Christian, no, he came before Isa. So what was his religion? We don't know. What was it? He was worshipping how many gods? One God. He was muwahhid. He was on Islam. He was worshipping on, this is what Islam. You follow the worshipping of, this is what is pure monotheism. That's why we follow him. We have to follow the same way of Abraham. Muhammad came with the same religion of Ibrahim. See, this is the way you prove it. Make them think first, yeah.
And they will not understand. They will tell you Ibrahim came before Muhammad.
Yes.
Why Islam?
I say Islam did not start with Muhammad. It started with Adam. You see, because Islam does not mean following Muhammad, means submitting to God. The first man who submitted was Adam, then Noah, and then all the prophets, Abraham, Moses, all were submitted. So in this case, Islam started from the beginning. It ended with Muhammad. The final form of version of Islam is Muhammad.
They can ask why they don't have the same religion like Islam now.
Yeah.
They don't,
You see, the problem was people did not preserve this message correctly. Those days there was no writing, no proper records. It was by oral transmission. If I tell you something now, after 5 minutes you tell somebody, after another hour, after 2 days, 3 days, the message is changed. Right? Just try. You whisper something to Ammar, afterwards he tells Jihad, then afterwards Muhammad, then afterwards Mahdi, then afterwards Hisham, then Zuhair. after 1 hour the message is changed, right? What about for thousands of years? Because there's no proper records. And those messages are meant only for that specific time and specific period. But the Quran has been preserved while it was recorded down in the lifetime of Rasulullah by his disciples. He commanded them to write everything. They recorded down. So everything was recorded down. By on their whatever wooden things, skins of animals, bone, but it was written down and memorized 2 ways, by memory and by writing. So everything was preserved. And people used to come to the Prophet and check with him, and they check his, he would correct them if they doing any mistakes. So within 1 year of the death of the Prophet Sayyidina Abu Bakr, advised by Umar bin Khattab, he made the committee and appointed Zayd bin Thabit to collect all these written texts and cross-check this with those who read by heart and make one standard correct text. And that's what happened. Preserved, unchanged. Others were not like that. So over time people added things, removed things, and things, it was all lost. So that's why within a short time the message of Isa was lost. You see? Because the original first recorded was after 30 or 70 years after Isa left this earth, Isa. So the oldest Bible says 30 years or 70 years after he's passed away. Nothing was written down. This is why it's a problem. But we know that Allah said, Inna nahnu nazzalna wa inna lahu lahafidhun. Allah is protecting His Quran. Because there's no prophet to come after Muhammad. The previous person is one, in the time of Muhammad, one dies, another one comes. It was always like that. There's always a prophet coming. But after Muhammad there's no other prophet to come. So Allah protected this message from any changes, that it was preserved intact in written form and by memory. This is one of the miracles of the Quran. طيب. Fine. This is important. You have to make them think. So they said, okay, you believe in God, I believe in God. You believe in the revelation, I believe in God. Okay, why should I become Muslim? Okay. So some of them say, okay, we are all going to Jannah. No problem. These are all different roads to Jannah. Why should I be a Muslim? You should tell them, look, God does not accept faith, accept one to God unless has complete faith. What does it mean to have complete faith? You have to believe in only one God without associating anything with Him. You should not worship anything besides God Almighty. You have to accept all the prophets. You cannot say, I will accept Muhammad and I don't accept Jesus or Moses. Even if I do that, I'm not a Muslim. You have to believe in all the prophets of God. Jesus, Moses, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, David, all the way to Adam, including Muhammad, being the last one. Because if you reject one, you've rejected all of them. Because all of them came from the same one God with the same message. So if you reject one, you've rejected all of them. You have to believe in all the books. In principle, you have to accept the Torah, you have to accept what God gave to Jesus, what He gave to other prophets, what God gave to Muhammad, the Quran. You have to believe in that. You have to believe in life after death and resurrection and judgment. ما في مجال توضح ما مشكلة اللي داخل كيف جنب بعض من خلف فوق كما يكون ظاهر So remember that they have to understand that إن الدين عند الله الإسلام. وَمَنْ يَبْتَغْ غَيْرَ الإسلام دِينًا فَلَنْ يُقْبَلَ مِنْهُ وَهُوَ فِي الْآخِرَةِ مِنَ الْخَاسِرِينَ. Islam means the complete faith, accepting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as the only one true God worthy of worship, believing all the angels of Allah, to believe in the angels of Allah, to believe in all the prophets of Allah and His messengers, to believe in all His revelations, all His books, to believe in the resurrection and judgment, and to believe in, of course, destination or preordainment, al-qada wal-qadar, khair wa shar. This is the asas. If they deny anything, they're not complete in their faith. So I tell the Christians, you are our brothers, you are close to us, but you have to take one more step. You have to accept Muhammad to complete your faith. The Jews have to take 2 steps. They have to believe in Jesus and Muhammad sallallahu. They said this is the only thing you have to do. Otherwise we have the same similarities. We have so much in common. We call you the people of the book. We have to respect you. We are allowed to marry from you. We are allowed to have good relations with you. We have special status for you. You know, Islam respects the rights of the people of the book. So you are the ones who are closest to us in matters of faith. This is the best way to explain. So let them understand that they have to make that step. And tell them, if I was alive at the time of Moses, I have to follow Moses. Peace be upon him. I cannot follow anybody else. If I was alive at the time of Jesus, I have to follow Jesus, who is the prophet of the time. If I was alive at the time of Abraham, I have to follow Abraham. But after Muhammad was sent by Allah, we have to, all of us have to follow him. Allah will not accept us to follow anybody else. This is the final revelation, we have to follow it. It's the most complete and confirms what can be followed. So to reject, this was rejecting all of them in principle. Okay? Fine. It's very important to clear misconception, because many people when they come to visit the mosque, they have their own baggage with them. Try to find out what misconceptions they have and use those frequently asked questions, answer them, clarify it for them. This is very useful opportunity for you to do that, because they may not get another chance. Maybe they will not find another person they can talk to. So as long as you can talk to them and they have the asking, keep encouraging them to ask questions so that you can at least clarify what is Islam and remove this misconception that they may have about Islam. And use arguments from the Bible, from the Quran, from the Vedas, all the scriptures, whichever you know about comparative religion, you can use these arguments. If you can use logical proofs, if you have knowledge about scientific facts, you can use that also. Appeal to their common sense. And everybody basically has goodness in them. We have to believe that even the Christians, and some of them are good. Not everybody is bad. There is something in their fitrah that they can recognize that this, what you're saying, is true. There is something there in their hearts that you can say what you're saying is right. They may feel it, though they not acknowledge it. So you appeal to their common sense, to their fitrah, to accept what you're saying. So these are all ways to discuss these things. Now you have to also evaluate your efforts. It's not enough just to do a good job and say, okay, we go home and sleep. Done. Job is accomplished. Mission accomplished. You have to use some way to evaluate your efforts. Sometimes they ask you questions that you don't know how to answer. This can happen. Maybe I went with my frequently asked questions, but something came outside this. I don't know how to answer this. So I make a note of this one. Next time, I have to check with the scholar or somebody to find out. So next time they ask me, I know what it is. They may ask you maybe who built this mosque, you didn't know. Find out who built it. Okay? They ask you, okay, how much it costs. Maybe you don't know, find out. All this information is useful for the next tour. See what was their reaction. Sometimes you get positive reaction from them, sometimes very negative reactions. See what prompted them to act negatively. Maybe you said something that they didn't like, so avoid that next time. If you said something positive and they like it, keep that point always in mind. Next time use the same point. You try to observe what attracts them. When I discuss with each other about Mary and Jesus or the love, so I always use this point in my discussions with them. This is positive. If I say something about something they don't like, I avoid that one. So look for the points which are very attractive for them and always avoid the negative things which may not be attractive. See, sometimes you have a plan in the tour, you miss some points out because maybe you are in a hurry or you forgot. So try to see which points you left out, so keep in mind next time. And assess the way you conduct. You have to do assessment. Here we have in Al-Fatih, this is assessment form we give to the tourist. The tour, I give this illustration here. They check, they have to tick, it's a quick tick thing. So you ask about the attitude of the receptionist, so that they liked it. Did they spend how much time in the reception? Was the tour good for them? How was it? Was it too long or short? What was the attitude of the tour guide about his knowledge, his skills? How did he present it? How do you find the tour overall? Do you have any comments? And take their name and other information. So this is good for getting feedback. We have to get feedback about our work. We have to have some kind of assessment so that we need to improve ourselves. The moment you sit and relax, you go backwards. Always have to have assessment. Try to make yourself better and better and better. So we have to have some form of assessing our efforts now.
Just I want to ask you about this.
Yeah.
To take up to do the same.
Yeah, I'll give it to Brother Sufyan, inshallah. So this is the one we're using now in Al-Fatih. And most tourists, of course, they write positive things, but sometimes we find people write things that they didn't like. You know, you'll get some people say, oh, no, we didn't like this, or it was too long, or the timing is not appropriate, so you can know what to do, what to adjust. So basically, we find that it's easy. It takes only less than 2 minutes to fill this one. It's only a quick tick, 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 so that they don't spend too much time writing. And you can get their contact also. So in the future, you can follow up. We have also a guest book. If somebody wants to write comments, more comments, they can write on that, and their contact number, because you can find somebody who was very interested about the tour, want to know more about it, but the time was not enough. You take their contact, then you email them. We put normal email. We want email so that we can send them information. Maybe there's a function coming up, a program, we send them invitation. So you can keep this as a record, especially people who are living in the same country. You can send them, or if he's even abroad, you can send him some information that he needed, you couldn't give it that time. If not available, that book was not available, that pamphlet was missing, you can send him by email. So this is, you have to keep track of it, because this helps to keep in touch and in contact with them. Now,
I think we have a big problem here in Tunisia for tourists. Da'wah for the people. Some brothers want to make التدريبية ليلة والله محمد رسول الله. And if we make a job of Tunisia, they won't. So
what is the problem?
The problem is
the flag.
The flag. Don't put the flag then. No problem. Don't put the flag. Don't put the flag. You say we just put here. This is because it's ministry by ministry. Leave the flag out. No problem. Get the feedback. You want the information, not the flag. So the flag is not an issue. Say you don't want the flag, leave it out. We want to know what they think about the tour. How do they find you as a tour guiding? How do they find the mosque? How do they find the reception? This is what we want to know. Flag is not a big deal. Yes. So don't get into this nitty-gritty details. Be flexible. See, Rasulullah in the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, they said, no, we don't know you as Rasulullah. Said, right, Muhammad bin Abdullah. Said, okay. Muhammad bin Abdullah. He has maslah, bigger achievement. You don't get into this. He knows he's Rasulullah. Even though they don't accept him, but he knows them. But it doesn't detract from the fact that he wants to achieve the bigger objective. He can overlook the small things for the bigger objective. So we have to be able to evaluate our efforts so we can improve in the future. Always try to make a system of evaluation. Another way we can do is we sit as tour guides after the tour. Once a week or twice a week, we sit and we share experiences. We say, okay, how did you find your tour? Any interesting thing you found? You tell me. Maybe you said you had a very interesting tour. This person asked this question, and I answered this way. And I said, oh, I had this interesting situation. This man said this thing, and I said that, and this was this. Oh, I had a problem. I cannot answer this question. Anybody knows how to answer this question? So you have to have these get-togethers once a week or twice a week. You sit together and share experiences. This will increase your knowledge, because you may experience something I didn't experience. You may have had some questions that I didn't get. So by sitting together and sharing, you get to know more and more, and you can improve yourself. Feedback and follow-up. This is another thing which I said you need a guest book, and always make sure you have some literature. After the tour is done, you give them some pamphlet. Of course, it's by if they want to. You don't force it on them. We always have some nice books in different languages there to introduce Islam to them, and you tell them you're welcome to collect any literature if you want to know more about us and about our faith, to address most of those issues. And you say you can follow up with them if they show interest in Islam. Try to get their contact by email through this one or through the guest book to give them more information in the future. And try to always give them ikram, you know. This is just general guidelines. Let me see if there's something I missed out before this. Okay. We have some general guidelines. Always try to be on time. Suppose you have a group coming at 9:30 in the morning. This is sometimes we have tours which are like set tours. Like we have the US Navy coming every twice a week. On 8:30 they are there. You have to be there before them. So you meet them so they don't see these guys. They're late and everything. Sometimes you have this cruise ship coming and you have to be there exactly on time. You have to look good and be brief in your answers. When you talk to them, try to keep it short and brief, because you have so many things to talk about. So don't take too much time explaining one issue. Try to keep it brief and precise, unless there's a need to explain in more detail. Use positive language, appeal to their mind, to their intellect, to their emotions. You have to use nice words. فَقُولَ لَهُ قَوْلًا لَيِّنًا لَعَلَّهُ يَتَذَكَّرُ أَوْ يَخْشَى. Use soft approach and lean. مَا كَانَ لِينْ فِي شَيْءٍ إِلَّا زَانَ مَا نُزِعَ مِنْ شَيْءٍ إِلَّا شَانَ. So using this is good. Soft, kind, appealing words. Okay, here we go. Okay. Appeal, show that you are really enthusiastic about the faith. It's no point to say, oh, be Muslim, and Islam is good, and this, and look, you know, this is no. So you're not keen about it. They say there is that magic or energy. There should be energy in you that transmits to the other person. If you're not enthusiastic about something, why should I be? You know, if you show you like your religion, you're happy about it, you are really committed, it will affect me. That enthusiasm will attract the other person. Oh, something is there. Why is he so happy about his faith? There must be something good about it. So show that you are really enthusiastic, you really think this is good, and you're happy about it, and you are very keen about promoting it. So they feel there must be something special about this thing. So don't be down and slow, and show energy, show enthusiastic about your faith, and that you're committed to it. Let them ask questions. Avoid arguments as much as we mentioned. Don't argue. The best way to win an argument is to avoid one. Because you cannot win an argument. You may defeat that person with points and argue, but you've lost him. You don't feel happy about it. You've technically lost him. So technically you cannot win an argument. Avoid arguments at all costs. And speak clearly and loudly so they can hear. Sometimes you have a big group, and sometimes no, quietly. They cannot hear. Speak loud enough. If you have to use a mic, use a mic. Try to speak at least in a voice that they can hear you, even they're maybe a little bit far away from you. And vary the tone of your voice. Sometimes speak loud, sometimes go up and not make one monotonous tone. Vary your voice up and down, based on the situation. Try and emphasize a point. You can stop a little bit, pause. These techniques of communication. And maintain eye contact only with the same sex. Don't do that with the ladies. So men with men and women with women is fine, but with the opposite sex, no. There's rules, we cannot do that. So you have to be careful about that. And of course you have to seek Allah's help. Before you start the tour, رَبِّ اشْرَحْ لِي صَدْرِي وَيَسِّرْ لِي أَمْرِي وَاحْلُلْ عُقْدَةً مِنْ لِسَانِي يَفْقَهُ قَوْلِي. Ask Allah to help you. اللهم عِنِّي عَلَى أَنفُسِهِمْ. Ask Allah to help you, because only Allah can help you. Always depend on Allah. Asta'in billah, bismillah, tawakkaltu ala Allah. And pray to Allah to help you. And don't overdo it. It's not, you don't have to give all the Islamic information you have in one sitting or one loading. No, just give them a little bit, introduction, based on what they can accept. So don't expect that you teach them a whole thing about Islam in one day. You cannot handle it yourself. If you go to the church, to visit the church, and they told you everything about Christianity, will you be able to digest that? No. Keep it simple and brief. And encourage them to collect some literature. Because in the tour you only have 1 hour maximum, maybe maximum 2 hours sometimes, but the time is not sufficient to talk a lot about Islam. So if they show interest, give them something they can read at home, or they can study more. So you can give them some literature, some books, they can go and follow up that. It will increase them their interest, and they will also learn more. Maybe they will also accept Islam after that. Because you just have to create that interest and curiosity in Islam from that point. You are beginning your tour, you aim at least to remove misconceptions and make them generate the interest for them to study Islam more in depth, so that they go and study more and they collect some books. I find people coming to the mosque, they're not interested that, mashallah, at the end of the day they want to take Quran, they want this, they want that, they feel interested. So that is a good sign. After the choice, they want the Quran. They ask themselves, want the Quran, can you get a copy of the Quran? We give them. They want this, we give them. You know. So subhanallah, it can make a difference. So you don't underestimate the importance of this tool. Give them some gifts. Always gifts touch the heart. Rasulullah said, "Tahabu, tahadu." Giving somebody, you give small things, pens, you know, nice pens written in the center, Ahmed al-Fajr, and a small pen, you know, 200 fields, 300 fields, postcards of the mosque, you know, he can write to his friend, I've been to this mosque, you know. Some small gifts, you know, key chains. Sometimes you have sweets for the kids, chocolate, something. Small things make a difference. We have sometimes calligraphy, write their names on a piece of paper and give them. Subhanallah, it touches their hearts. They feel, wow, this is amazing, you know. And they keep praising and thanking, and some want to hug us. Even the Italian, they say, can I hug you? I said, no, my wife will kill me. They want to kiss me, I said, please don't. My wife will kill me. They're so hard, they say, can we hug you? Can we kiss you? I said, no, please, thank you. This is good enough. So you have to be careful. Sometimes they get emotional. Yeah.
And this is one of the bad situations that we can encounter. We don't talk about this. Especially with the women, you will shake your hands.
This is one who asked this Ayub. He asked me yesterday. Where's Ayub today? I don't see him.
His son, he brought his son to the Met.
I see. Okay, Allah Shafi. But we have some issues. But this is coming to the issues of embarrassing situations. Sometimes what happens, you come, the visitors come, hello, you know, the Americans, it's very easy to shake hands. So what you do when they come, you say, hello, welcome, nice to meet you. Oh, you hold something in your hand, a mobile or something. Oh, thank you, welcome, nice to meet you. So they will, you know, they'll say, okay, you keep a distance, don't come too close. If it's too close, they'll shake their hands. Okay, this is a tricky situation, but you can try to manage it. If they insist, you say, I'm sorry, I cannot shake your hands. It's not out of, don't think I'm off. It's not because we want to be offensive. It's just that my religion, we're not allowed to shake hands with opposite sex unless they're close relatives, my mother or my sister. This is the rule, you know. No offense, no offense. You can explain if they insist to know why, you know. But normally, if you just say, okay, hi, welcome, nice to meet you, they'll accept that. Or keep a little bit of a distance. Don't be too close, so they cannot shake hands with you. Or hold something in your hand. Hi, how are you? Welcome, you know. It's a bit tricky. You have to try to find some way around it. Another thing is Quran. Sometimes they want to take the Quran. Say, please, if you don't mind, I will hold it for you. You take the Quran and show them. I'll show it to you. If they insist to hold it, say, you cannot touch this one because it's a holy book. Even a Muslim has to purify himself. We have to be in a state of purity before we take the Quran. So we have to wash ourselves and do this. So out of respect for the book. So but if you want, I'll give you the translated copy. You can take that with you. You know, I'll give you one copy in English or something. You can take it with you, no problem. So this is the way. You have to be diplomatic in handling this. Sometimes the people come with shorts, the men, and the women with scanty clothes. So I'm sorry, you cannot enter the mosque like that. We have something else. You have to wear the abaya, or we have the hijab, the covering, because it's a rule of the center that you should wear like this to go inside, out of respect for the mosque. So they will listen, they will understand. Always be diplomatic, because they don't know. You cannot expect them to know everything they know. They will make mistakes, but handle it tactfully. Be diplomatic. Don't shout and scream and, you know, make them feel, you know, they're not. Talk to them politely and explain to them this is not the right way. Like Rasulullah, he talked to that Bedouin who urinated in his mosque. Don't let the Sahaba to beat him up. And so he said, no, let him be. Then he said, come here. This place is not for this purpose. It's for worshipping Allah, glorifying Allah, and so forth. With hikmah. The boy wanted to commit zina. You know, Sahaba had to stop. He said, no, come closer. Would you accept it for your mother, for your sister, for your daughter, for your auntie? No, the same with the other people. So logically, with hikmah. So the non-Muslims, you know, have to be treated in this way. They don't know. They don't know what is right. You have to be gentle with them and guide them, and open their hearts and minds to know the truth. Sometimes, you know, the people want to say, I have some questions, but I cannot ask you now because I have to go. Can I come back later? Yeah, say, this is my card, this is my number, please call me. You can come anytime and sit with me. So some people, they go and come back later on. Say, I want to sit with you alone, to discuss with you. Say, no problem, this is my contact number. Have your business card ready? This is my number, call me anytime, you're most welcome. Like this. So have this available with you. It's very, very easy. And mashallah, many people become Islam through this way. And it creates, even if they accept that Islam is a great religion, they live with a positive image about Muslims, they feel now they understand Muslims better, it's a great achievement. You know, so not just the fact that only they have to become, no. The achievement is that you remove the misconceptions and you prepare the ground for them to really understand Islam properly and to have good relations with them. So once they know Islam, they will not attack Muslims. You neutralize them. They won't be enemies of Islam. At least they will promote Islam on your behalf. I got so many people saying, now we'll be your ambassador in this place. We'll defend Islam on your behalf. Now we understand ourselves, we tell those people what you're saying is all wrong. Muslims are good people. Islam is a good religion. Muslims are respectable and good people. We'll tell them that.
Without becoming Muslim.
Without becoming Muslims. Yeah, so we'll tell people about Islam. We want you to do the same thing. I wish you could come and tell to our people there exactly what you told us today. It makes a big difference. In fact, one person offered me a job. He said, I really enjoyed the tour. I want you to be our Archbishop. Come to my city. I will nominate you to be the Archbishop. I said, I'm sorry, I'm happy here. Thanks for the offer, but I'm content as a tour guide. I don't want to be Archbishop of your church, you know. They said, we want to offer you a job. I said, no problem, thank you. So they get so happy, so impressed, and they want, you know, to show their gratitude, you know. Anyway, we have to, we have reached, now we're going to have a break, inshallah.
Yes.
Yeah.
After the tour, if someone like to convert to Islam in this time, what we do?
Yeah, we tell him the certain requirements. Of course, if he's finished, let the others go. Then you sit with him and explain what needs to be done. Okay. First, make sure that he's doing it out of his own free will. Secondly, you tell him what is required for him to do. Of course, he has to go and make ghusl to clean himself, make the intention to become Muslim, and come and make shahada. In fact, we tell him to come at the time when there's a lot of people, like the time of salah, after the salah. He can watch and make in front of the imam, and people will be there to see. And also, you give him a form. We have an application form that he has to fill the information. We send it to the Sharia court. So he has to bring photographs, and he has to bring his copy of passport and his ID to take to the judge, so they make him, the certificate for him as a Muslim. So every country will have a different system. In Bahrain, we have an arrangement through Discover Islam. They take them on Mondays and Wednesdays to the Sharia court, and they will, the judge will ask them to say the Shahada in front of him, and then he will give them they will give them the Islam certificate that they're Muslims. But they have to take all these forms beforehand and fill them out. Yeah. So it's a short procedure they have to do. And further.
And I want to ask you, sometimes someone gives you money after the tour. What you do?
This is another tricky issue. Some people want to give tips. I always tell them, look, I don't take any money. I'm working here, this is my job, and you're my guest. I'm honored to show you around. I don't need anything in return. If they insist, there is a donation box. You can put that money in the donation box. So always have a donation box somewhere. In case they insist something, no, we cannot, you have to, then you have the donation, give it to the donation box. That is the way. Because, you know, they are so happy, they want to pay, they feel they have to give something. I say, you don't have to, it's free of charge. I'm honored to show you, you're my guest. But if you insist, this is the donation box, you can put on the donation box, this is better. So don't take any money or tips from them. Our work has to be sincerely for Allah, because this will destroy the ikhlas. Okay? Everybody has to work sincerely for the sake of Allah. It's better. And once you get money into the system, it will cause corruption, problems, and people start thinking, and shaitan will destroy the niyyah. So avoid that totally. Better to have this way. It's donation for the poor, for the mosque, or for the center, or whatever, for printing books, no problem. But not for the individual tour guides. Okay? Make sure your work is sincerely for the sake of Allah. Any other questions? We have something more to do, but I think we have to take a break, right?
We'll take a break.
Okay, 10 minutes break, then we come back, inshallah. You're all wired up. Sheikh had this is here for the future, for you want to make evaluation.
Just remove your flag.
Yeah, no flag. This one, sorry. تفضل. مشكور شيخ. لو جيت من الصبح كان أحسن من الساعة 9 بعدين من الساعة 9 يلا ما عليه. لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله.
كانت حابة تاخذ تصور الكتيبات.
لكم تعلم البطريق
السلام عليكم. انتم صورتم سنة؟
لا سنة لا ليش؟ لا
هم يعني شافوك انت
لا صورت ولاد وما مشيت
لا لا صورهم.
لا بيش
مشيت القروء انا
مشيت قروء
قبل القروء غادي قبل غادي نحن في الدورة
في الدورة
فقرأ أقول أنا مصورهم.
كبيرة نزلت سجن
Yeah.